Have you ever felt like you are running out of time, even when you are just sitting still? Imagine being born with a curse where you could actually see time slipping away, grain by grain. Most princesses in fairy tales are cursed with deep sleep, or poisoned apples, or beasts. But what if the curse wasn't about magic spells, but about the terrifying beauty of time itself? There was a girl who didn't have a heart that beat like yours or mine. Instead, inside her chest, she had a fragile glass vessel, and with every breath she took, a single grain of golden sand would fall. She knew exactly how many breaths she had left from the moment she was born. This isn't just a story about a princess. It's a story about why we are all so scared to lose the moments that matter most. In the kingdom of Ethelgard, there lived Princess Ilara. To the outside world, she was the picture of perfection. She had hair like spun gold and eyes that held the mystery of the stars. But Ilara always wore high-necked dresses and thick velvet capes, even in the summer. She did this to hide the faint, rhythmic swishing sound that came from within her chest.
You see, Ilara was the Hourglass Princess. When she was a baby, a sorceress of time was offended that she wasn't invited to the christening. Instead of cursing the baby to die, she gave her a gift. She turned the princess's life force into a literal hourglass. The top bulb was full of shimmering golden sand. The bottom bulb was empty. And every second of every day, the sand trickled down. Growing up, Ilara was different. She never played reckless games. She never ran too fast because she was terrified that if she moved too quickly, the sand would fall faster. Can you imagine living your life afraid to laugh too hard because it might cost you a minute of your future? It was a lonely existence. She spent her days sitting by the window, watching the seasons change, trying to hold her breath to make the sand stop, but the sand never stopped. One day, a young gardener named Kale saw Ilara sitting in the garden, staring at a wilting rose. He asked her why she looked so sad. Ilara, who had never told anyone her secret, finally whispered, "I am watching my life run out. I have half my sand left. I haven't done anything, and I'm already halfway to the end." Kale looked at her and said something that changed everything. He said, "Your Highness, the sand falls whether you watch it or not. The rose doesn't stop blooming just because it knows winter is coming. It blooms because winter is coming."
For the first time, Ilara realized that by trying to save her time, she was actually wasting it. She had spent her whole life guarding the sand, but she hadn't lived a single moment. She stood up. She took off her heavy cape. She ran through the garden. She felt her heart, her hourglass, thumping wild and fast. Swish, swish, swish. The sand was falling, maybe even faster than before. But for the first time, she felt the sun on her skin. She danced at the village festival. She helped the bakers knead bread. She laughed until her sides hurt. The people of the kingdom noticed the change. They didn't see a fragile girl anymore. They saw a young woman who lived with an intensity they couldn't understand. She loved harder, worked harder, and smiled brighter than anyone else. She stopped counting the grains of sand in the top bulb and started cherishing the pile of golden memories accumulating in the bottom bulb. She realized that the sand at the bottom wasn't wasted time. It was lived time.
Years went by. Ilara grew old, which was something she never thought she would do. One quiet evening, as the sun set, she felt the very last grain of sand teetering at the neck of the hourglass. She wasn't afraid. She looked at Kale, who had been by her side for a lifetime, and smiled. She had emptied her hourglass, but she had filled her life. The curse wasn't the hourglass. The curse was the fear of it. We are all hourglass princesses in a way. We all have a limited amount of sand. The question isn't how much you have left, it's what you are doing with it right now. If this story touched your heart or made you think about your own time a little differently, please give this video a gentle like. It helps more people find this message. And if you want to hear more unique stories that you won't find anywhere else, make sure to subscribe and join our family. You've been watching Fairy Story Official. See you in the next story.